What's up everyone, this is Dariusz Kalbarczyk, co-founder of AIMP Poland, JS Poland and AI Poland. Welcome back to the AI Master Podcast. Today my guest is someone who truly loves getting things done. Gus Martins, product manager at Google DeepMind in London. Hi Gus, how are you?
I'm great. Nice to talk to you.
For those who don't know yet, please tell us about yourself and what you do.
Hello, hi everyone. I work on Google DeepMind as a product manager. I work on the product manager for the Gemma modules. I've been on Google for 10 years. And as a product manager, I was a developer relations before for multiple products.
How did your journey from Brazil to London and Google DeepMind unfold?
Oh, that's a good question. As I don't know if that's English, I have a little bit of accent. It's not fully British English yet. I came from Brazil in 2015. The idea was I was already a developer for many years, and I wanted to move to another country for multiple reasons. Fun fact, if today I don't think those reasons would stand, right? That's very temporal thing, the reasons back then. And then Google, I found this job at Google. I did the process and they brought me here to London. The job was here in London as a Android developer relations. And it was fun and all, but I started to do machine learning, start studying that. And at some point, I moved to the TensorFlow DevRel, and then they became AI DevRel, and then I released the original Gemma modules from the very beginning, and we work with them. And then we end up here. My team was kind of acquired by Google DeepMind. We moved from where we were to DeepMind, and that's how I ended up in DeepMind. So I don't know if you count this as cheating, because I came from Google and I moved there. But it was an interesting journey. I think, I don't know if anyone, if you move countries, you learn a lot of stuff on that process, because it's a completely different life usually, because everything is different, all process is different, people are different, everything is different. And it's very humbling to see that no matter how good you are or how much you think you know, you don't know until you are doing it. And it's like it's a learning everything again. And I came with family, right? So I had to learn with my family in real time, which was it's a thing that you say that, oh, I'm never doing that again, because it's a lot of work. But it was fun. I don't regret. First of all, no regret. I like it, but it's tough. It's not like beginning is hard. So I have a tip. All right, a tip. If you're moving countries, the beginning might be hard. Just know that it's not like the country might be amazing, awesome. It is hard for multiple bureaucracies, but then later it normalizes it. Then it's awesome.
Your favorite band from Brazil?
Favorite band? Oh, that's a good one. There was a singer called Renato Russo. Oh my God, I forgot the name of his band, which people will be very upset with me. People know him and the band name. I like his musics.
What kind of music is this?
It's like it's kind of slow rock, kind of, I would say. I remember the name of the band, Legião Urbana, which it translates to urban legend or something. It's like it's from the 80s, so don't judge them. Yeah. And he was his songs are pretty deep. Oh, I like another one. I like another one called Racionais, which are their rap singer, and the thing about them is that their lyrics are very strong, and I like listening because the way they sing. Of course, some lyrics you cannot judge with the mind of the now, right? Things change in the last 20 years, but they are very good. And the fun fact is, my daughter, she speaks English way better than me, and she speaks Portuguese, but she doesn't understand those songs from Racionais. It's Portuguese. It's regular Portuguese, maybe with some slang, but when she listens, she doesn't understand it. For her, it's like it's different. And that's how I feel for English music. When I listen, it's very hard for me to understand what they're saying. So, and I guess we have the same problem for different languages, which is very interesting. But she speaks Portuguese, right? It's not a. Yeah. I talk Portuguese with her. There's no. She doesn't say what. There's no. It's like regular conversation. But for some music, she can't understand, which is very interesting. It's fun. But those are the. I like many other bands and styles, but those are two good examples if you want to see a little bit of Brazilian music. Those are cool.
My favorite is Sepultura, but
Sepultura is very nice. I think what I like about Sepultura, the style is a little bit too heavy for me, but I like how the way they are perceived. That's as people, right? So that's why I like them. But their music is a little bit too heavy for me.
Okay. Okay. The next technical question. Why did you decide to build your career around machine learning?
That's a very good one. So what happened was I was working at Google 2015 already. And then 2015, if I'm not mistaken, we released TensorFlow as an open source framework. If I'm not mistaken, that was the year. And then 2016, we released TensorFlow Lite as a framework to run machine learning models on Android or on device. And I started I was an Android developer. Like I was okay, Android developer, I would say. Not amazing, just was okay. I could develop stuff. And I had an app with 1 million downloads and stuff. So I knew how things work. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is very interesting. I want to learn more. And then I started studying. Of course, I don't have a PhD in AI. I studied a little bit of machine learning, artificial intelligence at college, but back then it was during the winter, right? Parts of the AI winters, that some of them. So people talked about it, but was like, yeah, this is something, but you don't worry too much, which is very interesting. And then after studying more, I told my manager, maybe this was 2016, 17, say, hey, I think we should start paying attention to this, and we should have like a part of the team studying, talking to partners about this. And what happened was my manager I talked to the director for DevRel back then, and the response that came back is AI machine learning is for AI for PhD people, and we are not PhD people. We talk with developers, so we are not going to do that. I said that's okay, that's fine. I'll keep studying by myself. And Google has a lot of resources for you to learn. Everything that we build in technology, we have a lot of resources in terms of. I'll continue studying because I think this is where things will move. Being completely honest, I didn't expect to move like we are now. I'm not going to say I'm a futurologist that has supervision. No. I knew it would be impactful. I didn't expect to be like this is now. I kept studying. I studied a lot, and at some point, I was still an Android DevRel, so I would talk to Android developers, but I was doing a lot of machine learning related stuff, models and deployment and stuff like that, building models, training. I was like, maybe I should work on that, right? Instead of, because I work with Android, it's fun and all, but my heart, as they say, was somewhere else. And then I changed to the TensorFlow DevRel team, and that was like the 2019 was just perfect. I do know when you arrive and say, oh, this is exactly where I want to be, because then you are in touch with the people working on these things that you like. And it was very interesting. I learned a lot. And I guess that was the reason. Was when I started playing with ML was very rough, because it was still tough. I don't know how much you know from that time. Was still tough to do anything. You have to train your model. There's no like today that you go and try stuff super easily. And so I learned a lot. Was way harder to even talk to others because the bar was high. You need to know, what do you need to know? I need to know math, Python, a framework. You had to know a lot of stuff to be able to talk. And even for me, I was studying, working on that. There was presentations from people that I would watch and not understand anything. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. I can't understand what this guy's talking. It's not the language, right? It's like what they're saying doesn't make sense. So that I kept grinding until now I can understand part of what they're saying. And then it's entertaining and sad at the same time, because I can't understand, and you keep pushing. But it was fun. That was one of the reasons I really liked the idea. I thought was open so many possibilities. So that's why.
Exactly. So what stands out most to you about your early days working on TensorFlow?
Oh, it was one of the parts that I always liked was the community, talking to the community, going to events, talking to people, understanding their problems, trying to help them solve with very limited time, because we talk to them, but I cannot solve everyone's problem and keep track of everything. But talking to them, sometimes you just say something that unblocks someone, and that, I guess the community was good. I worked on a lot on TensorFlow Hub, which was a model repository for TensorFlow models that later moved to be Kaggle models. So it was the seed for Kaggle models, which is very interesting. So it was, I think there was some great events. The fun fact is I moved 2019, August. There was some very good events, and then pandemic happened 2020, right? So I was super excited because there was going to be an event called TensorFlow Summit or something like that, which is in February, March. The year before, I really wanted to go, but I wasn't working on machine learning officially, so there was no good reason for me to travel there. The next year, I was going to present, and I was so excited. I'm going to present. And then the pandemic happens, and they blocked travel. They still did the event local without attendees, just the presenters. And I was like, I can't believe I did all this work and I got here, and it's that. So that marked me a lot, because it was like, but it was fun. It was fun, and I worked with such amazing people there. It was, I guess, some of my best interactions in terms of work interactions I had on that team. So it was so good. It was good times. TensorFlow team was great.
What exactly are you working on now as a product manager at Google DeepMind?
I am a product manager for the Gemma models. And what product manager does is, my goal is to establish me and the other, we are not the only product manager here, right? There's another 3, and maybe directly for go-to-market. And we established a vision where we want to push these new models, where we want to be in a year or in 6 months or something like that. How do we collaborate with other teams at Google? How do we collaborate with external people in the community? How do we make these models and their users successful? So this is what product manager does. Is like, some people explain as the CEO of a product. So you are the person that tries to give some direction, vision. But we do a lot of stuff. The same, we kind of do whatever it's necessary to, in a good way, all work related. But if I need to write an example code, I'll write sample code. If I need to review whatever blog post, I will review a blog post. I'll write a blog post. I will talk to someone externally, go to an event. It's what's needed, we'll do, aside from the vision and communicating with the other stakeholders. So this is basically what I do on a daily basis. I've been doing lots of events, mainly because, well, I have many connections, so people invite, and I like to go talk to people. That's the thing. I really like talk to the community, so I like doing that. Although I like also planning. So I like to sit down and plan, look, this is what we're going to do next. And then get some people to work with me on that direction. That really helps. I really like doing that. That's important, I would say.
What are Gemma models?
Good question. So when we talk about artificial intelligence, we move from the machine learning era where you train your models or apply some more classical techniques. We move to the artificial intelligence era where people kind of use LLMs. So it's like a Gen AI era, right? Because we use these LLMs to do most of the things. Among these LLMs, Google have two brands. They have the Gemini, which is our most powerful AI models. We have Gemini 2.5 Pro, Flash Lite, I guess. And they are proprietary models. What does that mean is you can use from an API. You cannot deploy these yourself. You cannot download it over an API. They are the strongest models probably in the planet, but you access to an API. And that's one way of doing AI. But some people need open models in a sense that they want to have full control, download, run local, or have a specific use case that they cannot send their data externally. So that's why you have the possibility to have open models where you can download them from a repository and run local. Gemma is Google's open models. They are kind of related to Gemini in a sense that we are based on the similar technology, of course. The researchers, of course, work together, but Gemini is way more advanced. We are based on that technology only. And we've seen a lot of usage, a lot of growth in our model downloads and variants creation, because people see that the quality of the models are quite strong, and you can run on basically anywhere. You don't need like super hardware, and they're quite strong. I strongly recommend people go take a look, download, play locally. They're just fun. They're just fun. You have like a Gemini model that can run completely on your computer and build stuff with it. So build applications, build integrations. So these are what Gemma models are. Is Google's family of open models. Yes, that's one. That's definitely one of the use cases. Have like if you want to run this without sending your data to a cloud provider. The other thing you can do is you can have full control of the deployment. For example, you could have your own, even on Google Cloud, you could create or any cloud, create an endpoint and it's yours. So if you need to do many calls, you don't pay per token, right? Like other providers, because it's your endpoint. You can just call it and then you pay for the API, or you can deploy on a VM and just run batch process endless. So they have other use cases aside from just security perspective, the privacy perspective. You can run completely on your phone. So you can run offline on your computer offline. You can there are many of these possibilities, and so that's one of them. Of course, privacy is very important. It's also another one.
What does a typical day at work look like for you?
That's a tough question. Lots of meetings, and I have meetings with every time zone you can imagine. I have meetings with people from APAC, from Asia, from the EMEA region here, which is they're between maybe 10 to 3 p.m. And then I have meetings with the US, Americas, like Brazil and others. And then I finish at 7, 8. So I have a lot of meetings. The other thing I do is I try to understand what's new, which is very hard because there's a lot of new stuff happening all the time, but I have to understand what our competitors are doing, what are the new trends, what are the new technologies, what people are building. So I have to do that. I have to try to think like what would be a good next step and what should we do next, what kind of capabilities the model needs, what kind of integrations we need, what kind of samples, what kind of work we have to do now to be in a good position later. So I do a lot of that. I try a lot of them, try models kind of a lot, not only Gemini models and others, to see what's possible. So I like to be very hands-on and understand what's possible, and and see by myself, say, hey, this is good, this is bad. So, and there's a lot of emails and a lot of messages. So my day is hard to have like there's no, how do you say, it doesn't have that much repetition, right? Days are very different. But because I might receive a message that changes my next day. This changes completely what I have to do next. What I try to do is I try to put some order by putting some blocks of do not schedule. So during that time, I'm writing a doc, or I'm trying a model, trying to build something, because then it's my time to learn and do proper deliverables. But it's very hard to define how a day it is. It's tough. I guess from my era where I was software developer, where I would get to the office and I have this list of tasks I have to finish. I do the tasks. What? You have your tasks, do some emails, tasks. I can't. It's like I have many things that happen all of a sudden. And my plan, when I used to have like, today I'm going to do X, and it's usually derails quite fast. I start receiving emails that, this project I have to look into, and then go on. But it's interesting. It's never boring, let's say like that.
How do you turn AI-powered idea into a real functioning product?
I always think that is the technology behind is the least important part. The important is the magical user experience. So if you can build something that the person doesn't even know there's AI involved, but they just use and it's delightful, that's the thing. That's what brings users. People don't care which model is behind or how you're building that most of the time, right? I would say consumers, right? But if you have a good idea that an AI model can help and you develop in a way that it's just delightful, I think that's the magic, right? That's what makes it a successful product. Of course, it's not easy. When we talk about AI-powered stuff, it's not just throwing AI and good luck. There's a lot of testing, a lot of evaluations you have to do. The models are not deterministic, so they might give you a different answer in some weird use cases. You have to have guide rails for all of those. So it's a new way of building stuff that we're still all learning at the same time. And it's interesting, challenging, and I think that's the way to go forward, to be honest. There's so much we can do. But we still need to do better, to be honest. But there's so much possibility, so many things we can do, but I think it's more not about the technology behind, but the delightful the idea, how clean you can make the idea, right? So, for example, if you think about one example of AI-powered stuff that's insanely good, it's NotebookLM. NotebookLM is just beautiful. You throw your resources and you can ask questions. You can create a podcast, audio podcast. If people didn't tell you that there is AI there, of course, because we're in the tech world, we know, but it's not like, there's no AI button. Apply AI here. It's just the whole experience is one thing delightful. That's why I like that product, because it's not like a throwing AI. It's like, no. It's a fully functional application that has AI there for many things, but it's not there's no AI button. There's no sparkling button, right? It's the thing. So I think that's where we should go. It's like build unique experiences that people just are impressed to use it.
What do you see as the biggest challenges when bring AI into real-world products?
But I guess the biggest challenge for me is the non-determinism of these models, right? They will give you answers. Sometimes they might give an answer that you're not expecting. Sometimes they'll do way better than you expect. So making sure that whatever you build has the guardrails around it, has safeguards, has a way to see that if things are going weird or some prompts give weird results. So this is the one of the challenges. And these models also make mistakes, right? Even if we improve the models, they still make some mistakes sometimes. Building an application that can mitigate that as much as possible. It's quite important, and it's part of building proper things. So if you want to build something that's like a proper product, not like a demo, right? It takes more work than just throwing AI there. And of course, start with models that are very good, like Gemma models, proper ads. See the ads here. Of course, that will help, but there's still work there. There's no free lunch here, right? So to get amazing experiences, you still have to put the work to make these experiences work consistently, let's say.
How do you view the current AI hype? What's justified and what's overblown?
So I suffer this a lot because this is my job, right? So when people start creating weird, we're going to AGI next year, is like, no, that's not happening. And the problem with that is they say that, and then I come and say, oh, hey, we did this new Gemma model that's improved every benchmark stuff. And then people, is this AGI? And I'm like, no, we're not even close. And it's hard for who are doing proper work because they create expectations that are unrealistic expectations. And that's bad for everyone involved except them getting the clicks, getting the thing. And it's like, doesn't help anyone. And so big part of my day is looking at stuff and deciding real quick if I should invest time on it or not. Should I read about this thing or not? Because a lot of those is just BS. It's hype that's not real. And some are, this is an important thing to pay attention. And that's very hard. It takes a lot of time. It's a lot of noise. So it's very hard. It's very hard. And we have new stuff every day, right? It's not as if it's weekly. It's not even, it's like in the same day, there's 3-4 new things happening. So I think the hype, it's a problem because this expectation, it's unreal. Like people might get disappointed or sad because, I thought this would solve every problem. It's not, we're not there. That being said, the technology is evolving. It's not, I saw like maybe last year or this year, people say, they're hitting a wall. We're not hitting a wall. There's still stuff evolving. It's just that, come on, there's no AGI now. We are building stuff that are making everyone more productive, creating new tools, improving, but there's no magic, right? It's basically sit down, do work, man. It's and when you work in the field like work, it's so hard to deal with this hype, people. It's tough, man. It's every day I see some people saying stuff that I know it's not real. Right? I know they're saying, and I'm like, stop doing this, man. You're making everyone's life harder.
Exactly. There is no magic.
There's no magic, yes, except the icon for magic that they put around the eye.
Yeah, exactly. In your experience, what makes Google DeepMind unique as an organization?
Well, good. So Google is I love great company. Google DeepMind is one of the main AI focus areas, right? So we create most of the AI experiences or the models or the tools that is used in all the other Google tools and externally. What I think they have there, they have such an amazing group of researchers, engineers, and product managers, and many, many other roles, legal. It's a group of people that's so focused in advancing the technology, and which is insanely good. And one thing that I would love, of course, there's smart researchers everywhere. But more than that is when you're around these people, you learn just by talking to them. You talk to them and you learn a lot of new ideas and perspectives. There's a lot of diversity involved, like many, many people from many backgrounds. And one thing that I think I like a lot, and I'm not saying the other labs don't have it, I don't care, it's just what I see, is their ethics perspective in terms of how we deal with data, how we train models, how we deal with benchmarks. Everything we do is like so do you know when I feel I wouldn't be ashamed about anything that is done there. That's the kind of things like I'm so proud of all of this work, because you see that people putting their the best they have, and that's just good. And of course, them is as I guess having someone that's he's very good. Like he has a Nobel Prize, a knighthood, he has everything. So his proven has very good, and very. I think he's very focused on solving problems and moving forward, and having this kind of lead definitely impacts the whole org below him, right? Because he every interview I see from him is like he's very focused on solving problems, advancing the technology, and not about the hype and the things. And so that's something I really like, and it gives an example, right? That's our example for everyone working. So I think I really like working here. The Google DeepMind is really, really good.
How do you manage a team that brings together engineers, scientists, and product managers?
That's my job, right? So product manager has to do that. So I don't manage them, but my goal is create a vision that can make all these people work together to get there. And I think when you have a vision that people can relate to and they can collaborate, they will come with you. Of course, it has to be a win for everyone. And that's also another thing. So when we start doing Gemma models, I managed to add to the release many people from many teams. And they came to help because it was a benefit. Everyone would win, not because I was worried about, Gemma models have to be great, blah, blah. But then I talked to the cloud people, Keras, Jax, MediaPipe, Android, everyone internally to say, hey, I think you should work with us on this launch because it's a win for all of us. And when you explain and you say, look, this is the vision, this is where we're going, people can relate to that. And oh, nice, I want to be part of this. So I think being able to have a vision and explain it very clearly to people and make sure that they can contribute and be part of it, I think that really helps to put people to work together, right? If the goal was just to, I want Gemma to succeed, I don't care for you others, I think they would never help me, right? I cannot collaborate with this person. So when you say, no, this is a team thing, this is a Google thing, people can see and say, oh, that's legit. And they see the plan, they see what you're trying to do, and they, I want to be part. So having like a vision that's very clear to everyone and that they can win with you, it's like it's win with. When people notice, they say, oh, I want to be part of that. And that's how we've been doing, right? So that's something that I'm very proud of. People come, hey, how can many people from many teams, how can we collaborate on some new Gemma stuff? And it's like, I can see that and I say, oh, this is so cool. It's like people they want to be part of it, right? They want to be, because the vision works, right? People. So I guess having this, it would definitely helps put people together, not only engineers, science and product management, but everyone. They see things and, I want to be part of this. And the other important aspect is keeping a safe environment, a culture that people can talk, give opinions. That helps so much because people feel they like working with you, right? Even sometimes you have to do crunch time, work a little bit more, but people understand why, and having that, I'm part of the team, that really helps. And people, that's why I love my job, right? I really like the environment, the people, and the vision we have. So it's a little bit of that.
What practical advice would you give to someone who wants to get into machine learning today?
That's a good one. I would, at one point, machine learning was for very expert people. And we've been lowering the bar for people to join more and more. I would say that today, the thing is try with the tech, play with the tech. Go to Gemini app and play, do prompts, understand, or go to AI Studio and prototype something. Even before Gemma, you can access Gemma from AI Studio, which is cool. But if you want to start with Gemini, perfect, there's no problem. I think that understanding what this model can do, it's so important today, because people have some kind of prejudice in terms of, I don't know about AI, I don't know if AI will do X, Y, and Z. My answer is, you should go and try. Try by yourself, try to solve problems, and then you understand where is the power. I can tell you that's amazing and all, but if you don't go and try, you always be skeptical about, I don't think. And that's something for me too, because many things I built, at first, even with years of experience, I would think it wasn't possible. I thought, I need this more complex stuff. And I would find out later that asking the model in a proper way, I would get what I want. And I had many moments of surprise where I was like, the model can do this. And in many situations, it's like you have this revelation moment, right? So, but you only get there if you try, if you experiment, if you test. And that's what if someone wants to start today, first of all, it's a great moment to start. It will be better if you had started yesterday, but today is great also. Try the models, go and play with it, try ideas, try to see what the model can do. You'll be surprised, and there's so many possibilities. It's like, it's the moment's now to build cool stuff. So go to AI Studio right now and start playing your Gemini app and have fun. Try with it. That's a lot to learn there.
Exactly, definitely true. How do you test and evaluate AI models for quality, fairness, and safety?
Those are tough. Quality, we have many benchmarks, right? There's something called academic benchmarks, which are benchmarks that are public. You can just run your model against it and see how well it behaves. Usually these benchmarks are a bunch of questions or conversations, and then the model will give a result, and it's evaluated against rubrics, right? Against the answer, see how well your model does. This is key to improve your model, because you see how your model is behaving benchmarks until you keep improving. For fairness, we have benchmarks for fairness, but of course, for fairness, I have a benchmark, I have to just keep training. Sometimes you have to clean your data, do processes to have data that's fair and safe. And that's a thing we did a lot for Gemma models. We are one of our there have three key principles. One is fairness. So we try to make the model as responsible as possible. And that starts from our data set that's clean, remove things that are not helpful or harmful. And that's a lot of work. One thing that people can do is, when they start their training a model, they can start from scratch or they can start from another model. One thing is, if you don't have big lab infrastructure, you start from a model. So I would suggest you start with a model that has responsibility as a thing, because then you get a good start, and Gemma is a good example of that. Gemini is a good example of that. But if you're starting from scratch, it might be a lot of work on data cleaning, data preparation, to make sure that model can be fair and safe. We've seen from the other competitors very non-safe response the past week, some very disturbing things. It's tough work. It's not easy. It's tough. So that's why I like my research team. This is very important to them. Fairness and safety. Of course, quality is always important for everyone, but you don't get fairness and safety just by improving quality, right? It's different. You have to do extra work. You have to do more guardrails, more preparing of the data, and that's the last mile that you have to do. And our research do that, so I'm very proud of them.
What role does open source and community play in your day-to-day work?
It's everything, right? I started here because of community. When I joined Google 10 years ago, I was already giving talks in the community for Android back then. And that's how they, I guess, noticed me. And today I talk to the community as much as I can. Go to events, talk. I met you in an event recently, right? So I try to be there, talk to them, see their pain. How can I help? How can we improve? So this is, as a product manager, if I don't take the feedback as a very important input, I think I'll be failing. So that's why I care so much for this. And open source, of course, is I work on open models. So being part of the open source community is key. So I try to talk to everyone from the community. It's hard, of course, there's so many people, but I try to, whenever I can, talk to them. Even sometimes we do meetings, I just go say hi, see how they are. Or when I travel and they have a meetup, I go to other teams meetups. Like I went to a Olama meetup. When was it? May? Maybe March. I don't remember. And I was in Mountain View, and I had the meetup was in San Francisco. So no, I'm going to go there, talk to them because I like talking to them. So I just went there to watch their presentations, and I like to be part of this because the open source community, it's a superpower, right? You have to, when you understand how you can contribute and be part, you say, oh, nice, there's so many cool people I can work with, learn from. So this is just, if you can, my suggestion is always try to meet the community, be part of it. You know a lot about community, right? So it's a superpower, right? Be part of it, go help the events from the community, go give talks. It's just very important. One of the main things for me is community. Always work with the community.
What keeps you motivated when working on AI products?
First of all, I have so many ideas I want to implement. And when you have those ideas in your head all the time, say, oh, man, I want to do this, I want to do that. So I like the tech very much. So I like it. I like what I'm doing. I'm very happy with this. I guess the other thing is seeing the evolution, the real evolution, not the hype thing, seeing how things are really evolving. That keeps me giving ideas, keep me excited. For example, we released Gemma 3N last month, and the new capability is audio, right? So you can talk directly to the model. That for me was like, oh my God, this is so cool. This enables other stuff, right? And so having these new things happening that with quality, that makes me super excited. Also seeing what the community is building. Sometimes I see some new videos from someone from the community. Oh, this is such a great idea. I like it very much. So I like learning this kind of thing. So this keeps me very excited. I really like my work, man. I would say something that's like, if you like what you do, it's easier. So I can definitely stand by it. I like it. I guess it's this energy, right? Of, oh, we're building things that were never possible before. This is so cool.
How do you think the role of a product manager is changing in the age of AI?
I guess product manager, I saw someone post about this on Blue Sky, I guess. Product manager will be helped, of course, because I write a lot of talks. And I use a lot of Gemini in Gemma to help me write, summarize parts that I don't think are well written from that I wrote, right? I can judge that. So I do some summarization. Sometimes I rephrase it to be easier to understand, or sometimes I ask. It's good to have like while writing docs is good to have like asking for what do you think it's missing, and it would bring some insights like, oh, you mentioned something here, but you didn't go into detail. Maybe you should put more details. So this kind of feedback helps you write better docs. That being said, for product managers specifically, these models cannot create the strategy or the vision for something new, right? They are not there. So it impacts us less, I would say, than for a software developer that can, build for me all this and it will done. Here it is. Maybe it's bad, but it does the full code. So it impacts us still not as much as you would see in other computer related fields, but it definitely helped me on a daily basis to do better docs, even better emails, better organization. But it's not doesn't impact as much as it doesn't create a strategy for me. It will just copy something that it learned from the data. I want something new, I have to come from my head, right? The models help me summarize and analyze stuff, but the ideas come from my head, right? So it's, but they still help a lot. Like many docs I write, I have a lot of AI helping, improve here and make it easier to read. Of course, English is not my first language, so sometimes I write stuff and people have a hard time to understand, and because I have my way of writing. So AI mods help you make it easier for people to understand. When it's easier for people to understand, it's easier to get buy-in from people to help because they have a clear vision. So this definitely helps. And so it helps me a lot on a daily basis. Would say a lot.
So how do you keep learning and stay ahead in such a fast-changing field?
Yeah, man, it takes a lot of time. I try to read blog posts from some sources that I like. I watch some videos from some people I already watched their videos. They like some videos are, for example, there's a new model. Someone does a video about what the model can do. So I like watching those. I like following some people on social media that talks about specific tech to see what they're talking about. But it's very hard. It's so many things happening at the same time. And one thing I learned is you do not need to know everything. When you understand that, you don't feel the pressure to keep trying to learn everything. Because it's impossible. There's too many things. So I put some time every day to see what's going on. Read blog posts, even our Google blog posts. Sometimes I cannot read because they're sometimes I don't have time. But I like to learn what other research teams are doing, what other products are doing. I try, but it's. I guess the one good tip is find good sources, people that are saying legit stuff with good content, and stay and listen to them, read them. That definitely helps me a lot, having like a curated source of information instead of random social network for everyone, because there's a lot of noise that's doesn't help. So, but it's, I guess having a curated source of information definitely helps. And put some time aside every day. Every day, read a little bit, maybe code a little bit, try tools a little bit every day. So you have the habit of doing that.
What gives you the most satisfaction? The concept, the code, or seeing the impact on users?
Oh, impact. There's not even a question. See, you do something and then you deliver. There's a lot of work, make that happen. But then the community goes and do something even better with what you did. Oh, that's amazing. It's like, oh my God, that's it, right? So we had a model called Gaia, which is a Gemma model that was improved for Portuguese. I work with the researchers, but they did the work. Of course, I was there answering questions and stuff. And when they released, I was like seeing them happy with, oh, we did this. Oh, nice. That's why I do my job, right? It's seeing the success of other people, and they talking about, oh, we built this, we did that, and it was great. This is why I do my job, is like helping and seeing the success of the product, helping others. That's just it. It's like, oh my God, this is so good.
What are the most common mistakes teams make when building AI products, and how can they avoid them?
one mistake I see is people want to build some cool feature, but they don't have a proper evaluation set to guarantee that there's whatever feature it is, it's working correctly. And why does that matter? Because you can, of course, build and try by hand, but then you have to update something. How do you try by hand again and again? It's like unit testing for classical programming, right? You need to put the unit test so you can make changes and run the test and have kind of a guarantee that your product's behaving the same, right? For developing applications is the same. You need to have some unit tests, and that means like having an evaluation process that you create a new version, you run the evaluation, and now it's improved, it's at least the same. And that also helps you updating models, updating products, updating stuff, and make sure that your evaluations are in place. So I think I've worked with people that, I want to do this fine tuning and do this feature and X, Y, and Z. And the first question I ask is, do you have an evaluation set to guarantee that what you're doing is going to the direction you want? Oh, no, we don't. And then I have to say, look, it's a great idea, but build an evaluation. Otherwise, you are going to navigate blindly in the sea, and you're probably not going to get you where you want. So that's my first tip for having a good way to evaluate whatever you're building. That's very important.
What are your personal goals and dreams for the coming years in your career?
Oh, let's see. I want to keep launching great models. I hope I can keep doing that, keep helping the community, make sure that they succeed. That's very, very important. That's one. I really want to become a good product manager. I know I'm still learning. There's so much stuff happening. And I think I'm on a good path, but I was for DevRel for 9 years and a half. So I kind of was okay. It was a good developer relations. I want to be in a position where I know I'm a good product manager. So career-wise, I think that's where I want to be. There's so much to learn. I try to learn from everyone. Some people, I don't know if they get annoyed that I ask many, many questions, but it's because I really want to learn to do the best. So I think career-wise is I want to become a product manager that people look and say, that's a good product manager. I want to be able to be a good example. And my dream is to just keep working on cool things that are exciting, like new cool stuff. This is so cool, and keep pushing the boundary of what's possible. I like doing that. It's very exciting.
What's the tech scene like in Brazil right now?
So Brazil is quite advanced in terms of use of LLMs, for example. They really like the technology. We have some very good people doing work there. We have strong universities. There's the thing that is what I've seen in the past is the center of development has moved from being just mainly São Paulo, but to be in other places. São Paulo is, of course, very strong, it's still there, but we see many other regions of the country becoming more and more known for their things. For tech, for example, the model I mentioned to you, the Gaia model, was built in the University of Goiás, which is the center of the country. It's far from São Paulo, quite far, 1,000 kilometers. We have also, in the northeast, we have a very strong universities and the technology centers there, with this northeast in the past was seen as a tourism place. You go for the beaches, for the resorts, but now, or of course now, but it's a thing that's being built is like the tech scene there is like getting stronger. Lots of researchers there, lots of startups, which is amazing, right? Because first of all, it's a beautiful region for people to live, amazing weather, and you can find a good job there. So it has everything. So that's a good thing. And I like that people are they like the tech, new tech. So every time I go there, the good events, they have very, very beautiful events, very well organized. So I think the tech scene there is quite strong. I follow it from afar, right? When I go there, talk to them, mostly from here, but I'm very proud of what they're building there.
How does Brazil compare to other South American countries in AI and new tech?
That's a good question. I don't have a good answer because the problem with South America is Brazil is the only country that speaks Portuguese. Everyone else speaks Spanish. And since they speak Spanish, they do events in Spanish. And I don't know Spanish. Of course I can listen and guess what's going on, but I don't. It's not like English that I can understand. It's like it's way slower. And because of that, it's hard for me to follow their content, to follow even videos from them because it's hard for me, right? And then I end up not listening much. I know they have good communities and stuff, but it's more ignorance from my side. I don't know how they fare in terms of comparison to Brazil because I follow their content less. That's basically that.
What do you think makes Brazilian work culture unique?
One thing I like is people are very resourceful to make things happen. Sometimes you don't have enough resources, sometimes people or money, and people create very creative solutions to stuff. And it's not only on tech, but also in engineering perspective, solving problems in a way that's cheaper. So we had many solutions that were created because we had to do something. For example, even the cars that in Brazil, we have cars that are not by gas, but by ethanol. I don't know how to say if it's ethanol is a thing, which it's something from 70s in Brazil, I guess. And the idea was, how can we depend less on oil, right? So they created this way to do a fuel from sugarcane. And this is the kind of thing that there's always these adaptations and trying to make things work with less resources, and that they're very resourceful. That's, I would say, very resourceful, and lots of smart people, right? Not me specifically, but lots of very smart people doing cool stuff there. So it's interesting, very interesting.
What's your favorite Brazilian food?
We have a lot of stuff, and I'll give a list. So we have something called coxinha, which is like I don't even know how to explain what it is. It's like it's a kind of a pastry, maybe. Coxinha is a great one. Pão de queijo, it's amazing. Although I cannot do cheese, but when I could, I eat a lot. We have a fruit called açaí, which is a purple fruit. And it's like you can eat as an ice, like similar to an ice cream. Or there's juice, and it's delicious. The food in Brazil is amazing, right? We have some of the best food in the planet by far. I don't even care if people don't think so. It is. So we have like when I go to São Paulo, I try to have rice and beans. It's very common. Meat is very common. We have like a thing called churrascaria, which is a place where you go and you just eat as much as you want for how long you want. The fun thing about Brazil is since we have a lot of immigrants from many places. For example, I guess we have the second biggest Japanese community, aside only from Japan, which is insane. And for many other origins, we have many of those. So Japanese food in Brazil is insane. Italian food in Brazil is insane good. So there's some pizza places that I used to go that are, I like living here in London is fine, but I never had the same pizza experience as I had in Brazil. That's unfortunately, we don't. In Brazil, we have something called rodízio de pizza, which is you go to a pizza place, they'll keep bringing pizza slices for you forever. You pay like one fee, and you just eat pizza non-stop. Of course, it can, if you're on a diet, it's horrible. But if you're not, you can eat, and there's multiple flavors, all kinds of flavors. So it's something I never saw here. It's fun. So oh my God, food is amazing. So one tip for if you are visiting Brazil, food there is perfect, amazing. And if you go to São Paulo specifically, São Paulo is a place where it's very known for the food quality. They have amazing restaurants that has foods from basically anywhere. You can eat food from anywhere in São Paulo. In a good quality, it's not like random, but good. And so it's a highly recommend.
That sounds amazing. So which place in Brazil do you recommend visiting the most?
Of course, São Paulo, because I came from there. I think Brazil has such a vast amount of possibilities. You have urban places, like São Paulo is very urban, like center, like lots of people. If you want to go to a theater, to go to parks, to enjoy concerts, São Paulo is very strong for that. Of course, food, perfect place for that. But we have also sceneries, like go to the nature. So we have, for example, a place called Pantanal that is, in the end, let's say it's not receiving the attention it needs, but has a lot of wildlife. We have Amazon, of course. We have the northeast of Brazil with amazing beaches and resorts and people. We have like a place called Iguaçu, which has a gigantic waterfall, which is beautiful. We have many, many beautiful places to visit. So you can choose from going to a big center and see people and have it like more urban experiences, or you can choose to stay in the beach, or you can choose to go to a nature place. You kind of have everything. And this is amazing. Of course, the country is very big. So one thing that people say, I'm going to Brazil and I'm going to visit X, Y, and Z. And sometimes I have to say, look, you know that between these places, there's an 8 hours flight, or you have to take a 2 days bus. So it's not as if you can just go everywhere, right? You choose regions. It's as if I come to Europe and say, I have 2 weeks in Europe. I'm going to UK, France, German, Belgium, Switzerland. Like, no, you're not going to do unless you stay 1 day in each and the rest in airports. So in Brazil, we have similar challenges. And so it's a fun thing. Every time people come asking tips, I say, hey, enjoy the region before going everywhere.
How would you describe the people of Brazil to someone who has never been there?
People are they give a lot of attention. They really want to help, very, welcoming. They're very welcoming to people. They try to really help. I've seen situations where people really try to help, so they're very warm. So it's a good place to be. People try to understand, try to help. They're good people. Like I like going there, and you always meet someone different, doing something completely crazy. So they are very warm, I would say. That's the main adjective.
What do you love most about Brazilian culture?
Mashup of other cultures, right? Brazil is a country of many countries. So we received people from so many places. Even when we had slavery, there were many people coming from Africa, and that has a deep impact on everything, even religion and folk customs and practices. We have a lot of, I don't know how to say that in English, it's hard, but we have a lot of mix of people and culture. So we have stuff that's like completely unique, and that's something that's very interesting. It's a culture that's a mix of many things. Of course, we have a native Brazilian, but even saying native Brazilian, it's already something that's what's really native, because there was so many people coming and building this culture that's what exists today. So I like that very much. It's this diverse of things, right? So when I go to Brazil, sometimes I learn new stuff about a region and a new word and a new thing, and I was like, I didn't know this. And it's I've been Brazilian for many years, right? So it's fun. I like it very much.
Gus, thank you so much. It was amazing time to spend with you, to talk to you. It was a pleasure to host you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dariusz, for the invite. I like chatting. I guess, I don't know if you noticed, but it was fun. Thank you very much for the invite. I hope your listeners like, and it's fun, and people learn something, and it's helpful. And if people want to ask more questions, I'm mostly on LinkedIn. Just find me there. I mean, if you send your questions, if I can, I'll definitely try to help. Bring your Gemma success stories. I'm more than glad to learn about them. And again, thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you so much.